pal Victor here from Classics and Cult Following. I'm hanging out here in my office. Nice to see a few people hanging out here with me. Um, yeah, we're getting ready for WandaVision episode 5 to start. If you want to talk to me, the easiest way to do it or ask questions is there's a little chat function on the YouTube page on the right. Just ask a question and I'll answer it here on the stream. So it's like, oh, like Adam asked, any speculation what the surprise character Elizabeth Olsen was teasing towards possibly showing up in this episode, or maybe not. I mean, like I said, it's hard to say because I'm pretty sure this episode is going to be about how she ended up in the anomaly in the first place. Uh, so it could be an Avenger, it could be, Wong, it could be any number of people that are connected to, her grief. I mean, it could be Hawkeye. We'll see. I don't know if we'll get a new character. I saw a little spoiler clip, possibly Evan Peters, the X-Men Quicksilver might show up at some point, but it's hard to say. So, we'll see once the show actually like starts to get going. So that's kind of what I'm curious. Um, oh, let me mute. I have a multi-screen on, so little, yeah, a little few technical difficulties I forgot about here. There we go. Did you watch the Legends? Uh, oh, let's see here. Did you watch the Legends catch up heavily on her brother? Yeah, so I mean, I think we are going to see Quicksilver. We know that Evan Peters has been cast here, so we might see that version. Be cool to see Aaron Taylor Johnson in some kind of a flashback or maybe like an alternate version universe that she created. Um, but it would be interesting because I liked Aaron Taylor Johnson as Quicksilver, and I think he's a really good actor. I really liked him in Tenet, so I know he's coming up. So I don't know if he'd like come back for this. They might have an option to use him, but it would be cool to see him show up here. Um, I know, I'm excited because this is, how many of you guys enjoyed last week's episode? Because I really dug it. Did you watch The Boys? Yes. I really liked The Boys. I thought that was a really good show. Homelander's my favorite TV superhero bad guy right now. I'm really looking forward to season 3. Heard NECA's making action figures from that show. Yeah, The Boys is so good. The Boys is like the modern Watchmen, and they've done 2 seasons and it's been amazing. So I'm really jazzed about that. When San Diego Comic Con happened the last time there was San Diego Comic Con. Current time here is 12:59, so it should be starting in a couple minutes. So if you guys have seen like me do these before, basically I'm going to be watching it and talking about what's going on at the same time. I will not be showing you what's going on because I don't want YouTube to nuke my account. I mean, you can ask me questions about what's going on. Hopefully, you're watching it too. And it's like a watch party. All right, it's one. Let's see if it's up yet. Sometimes it's up at 1. Sometimes oh 01, or here it's 1 a.m. They come up. Usually it's 1 a.m. 1:01 a.m. So right now it is 1 a.m. So I'm clicking on Disney Plus. The first 3 episodes. Oh, there it is. It's up now. All right. So I'm clicking through, and I'll tell you when I'm about to hit play so we can be on it at the same time. So right now it just says season 1, episode 5. Two super powered beings living ideal suburban lives suspect that. So they haven't even finished writing the thing. That Shaun of the Dead showing was lit at Madcap. I still got that print. Woot. Oh, thanks, man. Which Marvel series you are waiting curiously? All right, here it is. This episode is 41 minutes long, so it should be fun. And it looks from like the thumbnail that it's going to be kind of like Roseanne. So I'm going to hit play in three, two, one. Hit and play. Ugh, hang on. Stop. It's acting up. Give me a second. Guess tons of people are trying to, you know, watch this at the same time. Disney Plus, work on your capacity, people. Ugh, they're getting slammed. All right, try again. Try number three. All right. I do enjoy Disney Plus. It's really good. I love The Mandalorian. All right. Oh yeah, that the one on National Geographic. Yeah, it's really good. No, not yet. I had to restart it because Disney Plus is getting slammed. It said it's getting crushed right now. You could see because it's spinning a lot. All right, trying again. Isn't that always the way though? Like, no, it's working. It's just Disney Plus itself says it's just getting the error thing that comes up. All right, spinning. I think it'll work this time. There we go. 42-minute episode. Previously on WandaVision, and we're seeing the reverse blip where Monica showed up after Endgame. We're on episode 5 right now. So, all right, we're seeing the recap, the Westview anomaly and all that, and Monica gets sucked in. WandaVision is 9 episodes long. And now we're seeing the clip where Wanda throws Monica out of the anomaly. Oh yeah, it's like my favorite Marvel show. I like that it's like a mystery. And Geraldine is slash Monica says it's all Wanda. And now we're getting the Marvel theme. You're gonna wait till it's all out so I can binge. Yeah, I know, but then you're missing out on all of us trying to theorize what's going on. Last week was a biggie because we figured out that a lot of the theories were fake. Like a lot of stuff got shot out the window. Everyone was thinking Mephisto or AIM and all that. Yeah, I think this one's gonna be like an '80s sitcom. Like it looks like. Oh yeah, totally '80s. All right, let's guess what it is. Like Family Ties. No, it looks like Growing Pains. Yeah, the set looks like Growing Pains. And this show has a laugh track. I don't remember if the other ones did or not. And Vision's kind of dressed like John Goodman on Roseanne, sort of. Looks like a very generalized '80s. Oh yeah, like Family Ties. And they're twin babies. And Wanda's using her powers. She's trying to make the babies go to sleep, and they won't do what she wants. Oh, and Vision put their pacifiers like earrings. So that was cute. Because Vision has no ears. And then the babies spit up the pacifiers. Yeah, it looks very much like the Facts of Life set. Yeah. Or Mr. Belvedere. Kind of like Mr. Belvedere. Oh, and then just Vision just made himself normal. And here's Agnes, and she's all in aerobicized gear. I love Catherine Newton. She's so funny. But yeah, this is like the most 80s aerobicized looking outfit ever. I will say they've been doing a really good job. Yeah, I'm not going to show the screen, guys. That's not going to happen. Sorry. Oh, she flubbed her line, and now Agnes is asking her to do her line again. So Agnes knows she's in like a TV show. Yeah, clearly, like all the humans in Westview are like afraid of Wanda, and Vision is just like keeps getting mind wiped, so he doesn't know what's going on. It's kind of cool too. Everyone they cast kind of has to be like work as a person from every like see like decade of television, and she works really well too. Catherine Newton, she's like, look at her, she's even being a sassy '80s character. And see now, even Vision's like, why is Agnes afraid of you, dog? See, Vision's just clueless. Watch party is a great idea. I might catch up to you guys and join you next time. Yeah, I've been and we're doing it every week. So usually from it's usually about an hour long. It's a way to kind of just like catch up and sort of watch it at the same time. I wish we could kind of do picture in picture, but I don't think YouTube lets you do that. Poor Vision, he just doesn't know what's going on. And the twins fell asleep finally. Oh wait, the twins are gone from their crib. Oh, creepy. Now they're toddlers. This is so silly. As in, like kids, they grow up before you know it. Well, they're not identical twins. Remember, their names are Billy and Tommy. I don't think that has any. It's totally the Family Ties. Yep, it's totally the intro to Family Ties. I like how I called that. This is good. Oh, this is so cool. It's totally like the Family Ties intro. Look at Baby Vision. That's gonna be the meme of the week. They're doing such a good job of dressing up the Warner Brothers backlot to look different for every like season of time too. Tommy and Billy. Like that water tower. Yeah, this is on the Warner Brothers studio backlot. We went on a tour back there. That whole little gazebo area. It's also in a Elvira, Mistress of the Dark, and Little Liars. Yep, WandaVision and the Family Ties font. All right, so now Hayward's debriefing Monica. Oh shit, that's good. I actually hadn't thought about that. Westview, WandaVision. That's clever. And Monica says all she felt in that world was grief. And they're like examining her clothes since they were generated by the anomaly. And there's Wu and Darcy again. I love Darcy. I'm a big Kat Dennings stan. They were her boobs. I like how like Darcy's like, "Oh, you're on that TV show. It's so cute." Yeah, she's a doctor now, which is cool. I like that. They're doing little things like Darcy's a doctor now, and Wu finally did the magic trick last episode that he's trying to learn from Ant Man. The up close magic. All right, Sword now is operating the idea that Wanda is the main villain. All right, they just name checked Pietro. Apparently, her father was Oleg Maximoff, so we are pretending that Magneto is not her father. Apparently, Max Wanda is not known as the Scarlet Witch. She's just Wanda. And now they're talking about the stuff that happened in Captain America: Civil War when she blew up the Sokovian embassy when Crossbones died or got exploded. Wow. So apparently, being controlled by Wanda and the anomaly is excruciating and terrifying. So that's horrifying. I really like the actress that they have playing Monica. She's really good. There are apparently thousands of people inside of the Westview anomaly, and Wanda's controlling all of them. And Sword thinks that she's doing this on purpose. Monica thinks it's some kind of grief explosion. All right, and now we're getting some flashback stuff, and it shows Wanda breaking into a sword lab and grabbing what's left of Vision, like his corpse. So, all right, this confirms what we were talking about last week. That that's a Vision's corpse being animated by Wanda inside of the bubble. That's creepy. So it's just her. It's just her. Thousands of people she's controlling, and the Vision corpse she's animating. Wu doesn't understand how they could bring Vision back without the Mind Stone. I don't think either of us can either. Do you think Monica had absorbed Wanda's red power to become a super person herself? Um, it's possible because she's going to have to get powers at some point. So this might be like a backdoor origin for her. If it hasn't happened yet, it will. I'm sure of it. All right, we're back to the sitcom now, the Family Ties one, and the kids are made a big mess in the sink. It's all bubbles everywhere. Oh, they're washing a puppy. Almond Joy must be paying a lot of money for this product placement. Very prominent Joy placement. They are creepy. The one kid looks like one of Ricky Bobby's kids from Talladega Nights. You're gonna break us like wild horses, ain't ya? That kid. uh, Look at Vision's terrible '80s haircut. Oh, and Agnes just showed up with like a dog cage. So funny thing, if you look on their table, you see like that tiger doll. That's a jungle gym doll, and it was a Mattel toy from the '70s. In the '80s, when they made Masters of the Universe, they used the same sculpt and repainted him green for He-Man's Panther. You know, yeah, the green Panther guy that he rides. You know, funny toy fact that I know. And the dog almost electrocuted himself. Ah, poor Vision. I just feel so bad for him. Oh, the dog's name's Sparky now since he just almost electrocuted the thing. And kids need to be 10 to care for the animal. Oh, creepy. They just morphed into 10-year-olds. Oh, that's literally the creepiest scene this episode so far. Are the kids intelligent? Yeah, that's what I'm wondering. Are the kids real, or did she just, what are they? And basically, Monica is now trying to get a tank to ram her way back into Westview. So her and Darcy are trying to come up with logistics to make a tank that will break through the photon wall. She knows an aerospace engineer. Here might be that character. Oh shit! There's aim flushed down the toilet. It's a hex. Her powers are a hex because they're hexagonal. All right, so now we know the hexagons are just a visual approximation of her powers and a nod to her witchiness, her witch hex. So no aim. Aim is out the window. Ugh, boo. Oh, Monica just went a little, I don't want to talk about Captain Marvel. Interesting thing though is they just pointed out that she could have taken out Thanos by herself, which was very true. She got nerfed early on. They're examining her '70s uniform to see what it's made out of. It looks like the clothes are bulletproof. Um, what is my screen time? 18 minutes, 20 seconds. So now the bubble is officially called the hex. They want to send something into the hex that will not lose its shape. All right. Yeah, we'll be around. So now they've got these big clunky computers and they're computational services again. It's a Commodore. Ooh, with 64K RAM. Listen to that AOL dial-up noise. Oh, the computer can read messages from the outside. Maximoff anomaly is what Sword is calling the hex. Oh shit! Vision just snapped one of the people out of the people out of the anomaly. Norm. Oh man, this makes me feel bad. So everybody who's being controlled by Wanda is in terrible pain. Yeah, Vision is definitely gonna break the walls down. I don't know how she's gonna keeping him in the dark at this point. So Billy and Tommy have trained the puppy like in an hour. The puppy's probably not even real. Oh yeah, you're right. Like red and black chucks. Oh. Wanda's like, no, he needed a distraction. So she's trying really hard to keep Vision in the dark. And now we're getting it as a life lesson. Like sometimes your dad and I aren't on the same page. Um, at first I thought she was. Now it's kind of obvious that Vision's his own person. What I think is going on is she's reanimated him somehow with her memories, kind of. So he's not a complete person, but I don't think he can live outside of this hex. Like, if he leaves the hex, he's just going to turn back into a corpse. Because last episode, when she wasn't paying attention, he was just the corpse. Oh, they sent a drone into Westview. Oh, they sent in a drone from the 80s so it doesn't have to change into an 80s drone. That's clever. Captain Rambo. Uh oh. Looks like Wanda's gonna destroy the drone. And of course, why is it always this cliche? They arm the drone without telling anybody. This is just like that Rick and Morty episode, the "Show me what you've got." you know, he's the dumbass who wanted to shoot at the godheads. Disqualified. Uh-oh, something's happening. The wall of the hex is opening up. Oh, it's Wanda in her Scarlet Witch outfit dragging out the drone. She should kill Hayward. He's a dumbass. Oh, Wanda has her accent out back outside of the simulation. The CGI scopes on the guns look eh. She's gonna kill Hayward or something. Nope. Yep. Well, now we know Wanda is the primary antagonist. There is no aim. There is nothing. This is the only way she could be with Vision. So she made this hex world, and she wants people to stay the f out. Oh, here's the fake commercial. Lagos. So Lagos is where she, blew up Crossbones and killed all the Sokovians. That led to the Sokovia. No, killed all the Wakandans at the Lagos embassy. That led to the Sokovia Wars. That led to Civil War. So every commercial is just, subconsciously walking us through her life now. Yeah, it makes sense if you have watched, the last few that have her in it to make more sense. Uh oh. It looks like Sparky's dead. Poor Agnes is trying to make them understand about death. Fix the dead. Poor Wanda. She's stuck between a rock and a pet cemetery. You just did reverse death. What are you talking about? Poor Vision. You're the dog in this scenario. It's like you can't have it both ways. You want to teach these kids about death, but like you're the one who brought Vision back from the dead, and they kind of know it. One of the two kids was on Penny Dreadful, the City of Angels. He's like Ferris Bueller joke. Life moves pretty fast in the suburbs. Oh, Vision's calling her on her shit. Oh shit. Oh my god, it's throwing me off with them having a scene with the credits rolling in front of them. And Wanda's saying, "I'm doing it for the best for us. This TV prison." See, this is what I'm talking about. Like it's a pet cemetery situation. Vision didn't come back right. Is she lying? This is the question. I mean, it seems like she might be telling the truth. Uh oh, someone's at the door. I don't think Mephisto's involved, but we'll see. Open the door. Oh, come on. Is it Pietro? It's Pietro. It's not the one we were thinking it was. It's Evan Peters playing Quicksilver. It's Evan Peters. He's the guy who plays Quicksilver in the X-Men movies. Interesting. And that's the end of the episode. All right, so there's the big twist. Um, Quicksilver is back, but he's played by the guy who played Quicksilver in the X-Men movies, Evan Peters, who's he's in a lot of seasons of American Horror Story. So yeah, what? She says she didn't do that. She recast Pietro. Yeah, or this multiverse. Like maybe what she's doing, this hex thing, made a hole in the multiverse, and that's kind of what might be going on here. Because this is supposed to lead into the next Doctor Strange movie. I think she kind of did, but she was like, "Don't you recognize me? I'm your long lost bro. Don't I get a hug?" And we just saw him from behind. Yeah, that's the weirdest thing. Yeah, Adam says that they say the series launches pad towards the next Doctor Strange. Yeah, my guess right now is that Wanda's powers are what make a hole in the multiverse. So I wouldn't be shocked if Doctor Strange shows up before too long here. Cause yeah, wow, was that what we were expecting, guys? I don't think it was. I wasn't expecting. I mean, I saw like I've seen spoilers that said he was gonna show up, but I assumed it would be like like a one note joke or something. So yeah, that's crazy. I mean, it's hard for me to understand how to. All right, let's do like a little quick recap here. The things we learned this thing. AIM has nothing to do with the show. The hexagons are just a visual representation of the Scarlet Witch's hexes. I don't know. They did the thing and they said that Wanda's father was someone named Oleg Maximoff. So I don't, I'm pretty sure that is not Magneto's name. I think somebody can Google this. I know his name is something else. But now that we've punched a hole in the multiverse, not the actor, the character Magneto, it's something Maximoff. But I appreciate you piping in there, David. I meant the character Magneto's real name. I don't think it's Oleg Maximoff. It's something Ivan Max. No, no. I can't remember what it is. Yeah, I'll have to look it up. I'm using my phone to do the. I don't think so. I mean, it's hard to say because I do remember reading a thing that at some point they wanted to bring in uh, Patrick Stewart as Professor Xavier for something, and this probably was what it was for. If we're gonna do just a bunch of multiverse stuff. I don't think it's a recast, Simi. I think it's a hole in the multiverse. Are the parents in the commercial segments of WandaVision? I have to think they represent their parents because it's been the same actors in every single commercial. So those are probably Wanda's parents. I'm not saying that guy is Magneto. I'm saying that's whoever Oleg Maximov is. You know, I keep expecting there to be end credits on this show, but alas, there are not. Can you do a recap? Yes. All right, so here's a recap of this episode. We saw that Monica, or formerly known as Geraldine, got knocked out of the bubble, which is now known as the maximum anomaly. Darcy's calling it the hex. We found out that the hexagons on the show and everything are a visual representation of Wanda's powers because the Scarlet Witch uses hexes. So AIM has nothing to do with anything. Um, Wanda's the main bad guy. She knows what she's doing. Everyone who's being controlled by her powers, it's super painful to be controlled by it because she's like basically puppeteering them. We found out before she created this hex or the anomaly that she broke into a sword installation where they had Vision's corpse and she brought it in to the hex with her. So she's used her powers, which have like manifest, gone like tenfold. And in this hex or this bubble, she was able to reanimate Vision without the mind gem. And Randall Wu even says, "How is she able to do that without the mind gem?" And then they theorize that her powers have just become super godly, something like an Omega level mutant. That's what I'm saying. They didn't use that. There's mutants in the MCU yet. Um, what else happened? So she had two babies. The TV show this episode is they're living in his family ties. So she was, kind of trying to get the babies to calm down. Agnes showed up and flubbed her line and asked if she could start over again, and Wanda had to calm her down. Vision's all freaked out by it. The computers of Vision's job now can start to pick up the communications from the outside world. Um, Monica figured out that if you send something that's era appropriate into the hex, it won't get fucked up. So they sent in an A's drone and were able to, get that in there. But idiot Hayward loaded it up with a missile to try to nuke Wanda. It didn't do anything. She stepped outside of the anomaly, told them all off, and said to leave them alone and stay out of her home. And then Monica was kind of like, "Hey guys, I'm your friend," and then I don't think Wanda really believed her. Visions totally knows that something's wrong now, and he's trying to tell her off, like, "Dude, I'm scared. I don't know what's going on." And the doorbell rings, and Wanda's sad that Vision doesn't believe that she didn't have anything to do with the doorbell. And then when she goes to open the door, you see from behind it looks like Quicksilver, and it is Quicksilver, but it's the Quicksilver from the Fox X-Men movies, not the Quicksilver from Age of Ultron. So I think what ended up happening is Wanda's powers broke a hole in the multiverse. So, you know, at this point, who knows? Like what it maybe Dormammu or some extra dimensional entity sent this Pietro in there. Maybe Pietro is like an agent of Dormammu, like Mephisto or something, to keep like leave open this door to the multiverse so we can bleed into the main universe. Because if you remember in Doctor Strange, the main thing is that Dormammu needed to break those safe houses because there's the three shields, and maybe this is a way around it. And the Sorcerer Supremes have to keep other dimensions from invading our reality. So that's how Doctor Strange could tie in here. Either way, Vision's totally doesn't know what's going on, and Wanda's now in a grief bubble, and there's like an alternate universe double of her dead brother who's telling her, "Hey, what's going on?" That's probably not really her brother, but a machination of an extra dimensional entity like Dormammu, who from outside of this reality and another multiverse. That's where I'm kind of drawing from. Do you think that was a good recap? I think that works. I'll probably do a little video after this to kind of like sum up my thoughts on there. But yeah, that's sort of where I'm coming from, guys. What do you think? Any other questions? Cause yeah, that was crazy. Yes, the Halloween episode is episode 6. I have seen a tiny little spoiler clip from that episode that's like a minute or two, a minute long or something. And uh, Pietro is dressed as Quicksilver, but the comic book Quicksilver with the light white lightning bolt. And he has some line like, it's like, oh, it's not like your dead husband's gonna come back again or something. So he, like, Pietro really knows what's going on, and we'll find that out next episode. Um, but yeah, I'll see we'll see what's up with that. That's gonna be like the next, like, what's going on here, guys? What the fuck? It's X Men Pietro. I don't think we're gonna see kick ass MCU Pietro again. I think moving forward, we're only going to see X Men Pietro, which is again weird, but it makes sense if you're going to do a multiverse thing because you guys that was always the funniest thing was like and Marvel shared the rights to Quicksilver, so like there were that one year that like Days of Future Past and Age of Ultron both came out. Was it 2015? Yeah, there were two movies with Quicksilver in them, played by different actors. Is that a bummer to you? I liked Aaron Taylor Johnson as Pietro, but like he's dead. So no, we're Madness is saying that he is an X Men Pietro canonically. He's a recast version of MCU Pietro, like Norton and Ruffalo. I don't think he is yet. Rather, I think it's too soon to say that. I think this is multiverse Pietro. You know how like everyone's also excited about the fact that there might be like Toby Maguire and Andrew Garfield Spidey. This is X Men Pietro. No, I mean, I think we're gonna get my take on this is whatever magic or powers or whatever she's channeling. MCU Pietro didn't come because he's shooting other movies. Oh, you see the X Men Pietro? I don't think so. I right now we're just guessing. My take, I'm guessing too. I'm not saying I'm right, but I'm saying it's most likely if we know for a fact that this movie is going to lead to Doctor Strange Multiverse of Madness. This movie is the lead in for that movie, and now we just saw a version of a character played by a different thing. The hex the hex itself is a I don't expect the Stargate to open up. The thing they're in is like, space time, Like, did you guys remember when Doctor Strange, when Dormammu's opening a hole through the dimension when they destroy the Sanctum Sanctorum? It's just like a space sizzle, So it's crazy, but I'm not gonna disavow, but I will say she's not controlling Pietro. Pietro, I think, is a multiverse bleed. I'm not even sure that that's really Pietro. That's the manifestation of Pietro, and it makes more sense to us to understand multiverse if it's played by the same actor. Um, it could mean Spider Verse is possible. It definitely means that this is letting into multiverse stuff. It's weird to me that like this is where Marvel and DC movies are both going is into multiverse stuff. Like we need everything to exist simultaneously. Well, she didn't really recognize him at first either. She was kind of like, like something's off, and he had to tell her, "What? Don't you recognize your brother?" Like just like she's fucking with Vision, someone's fucking with her. That's what I'm saying. And it's just like Do you think they're gonna do two versions of Hulk with multiverse theater, and we could see Norton with Ruffalo at some point? I mean, I don't really know because I don't picture Edward Norton returning to play the Hulk in anything. Um, I feel like this is possible. I mean, this year's gonna be crazy balls with content. Oh yeah, dude, there's so many things coming out. Like, dude, a lot of some of you guys know, like I watch a lot of movies for review, man. I've seen stuff that doesn't come out for like 2 years already. There's so many things backed up, you know. There's like at least two or three movies. If I told you I saw them, I would get sued for violating an NDA. And it's like, what? How the fuck did you see that? I'm like, yeah, well, it was cool. Yeah, I'm no comment. But yeah, I will say the next Mortal Kombat movie sucks. Anyway, but I'm excited for Falcon and the Winter Soldier. Falcon and the Winter Soldiers. If this is what Marvel TV shows are like right now, then dude, Falcon and the Winter Soldier's gonna be off the hook. And you know how we were hearing that like we're probably her lecture. Yeah, I know. That was like my favorite thing that she's like, "Oh, there's rules to life." And then like the kids are like, "No, there's not. You created a set of thin air and you're animating our dad." It's very gory. Yes, it's gorier than the game. But I didn't say that. That's just my conjecture. Anyway. But yeah, I'm very like into this. Does anybody have any more theories or stuff about this episode? You know, I don't know. I kind of I does all right. Am I alone in thinking that this might not be Pietro, but something pretending to be Pietro? I know what I'm still thinking. You know, like, oh, Pietro, this is Pietro, and just pulls a Pietro out of the universe. I don't think she's oblivious. I did think it was interesting that she had an accent, though. Did anybody else think that was kind of weird? Because the whole time I've been watching the show, and it's like, what happened to her accent? And then it's like she leaves it, and it's like, what are you doing here? Like, okay, like I thought that was random as heck. And then she's like back inside. She's perfect American, TV mom. I mean, that's Dario's theory is I think it's him, but since she couldn't revive her brother, she brought one version of him from another reality. Not alone in those thoughts, justified. It could be that she was in pain. She was in pain, and maybe subconsciously that caused her to call out to a safe place that was Pietro. So I'm not going to discount Dario's idea. I think that sounds like a very plausible theory. Who's the aerospace engineer going to be? Wanda can now create Infinity Stones. Does that make her the most powerful MCU character? That's a good question. She's like, I mean, Vision does have a mind gem. I mean, and they were talking about her power level. I mean, ultimately, I think Wanda is one of the most powerful MCU characters. They've always just kind of like nerfed her in the comics. They haven't really nerfed her in the movies. We've seen at least in Endgame she could have very easily destroyed Thanos on her own. Oh, I saw that too. Yeah, she's like Captain Marvel. I'm thinking here's my theory what Madness is saying. Madness is saying Monica is mad at Carol because she wanted to avoid talking about it real quick. That somehow, in the space of time within the blip, because neither did Captain Marvel, that Captain Marvel didn't do shit to keep her mom alive. And she woke up and her mom's dead and Captain Marvel's still a hero, but she was here on Earth. I bet you that's going to be an issue that comes up in the next Captain Marvel movie. The Infinity Saga was about the stones. Now here's a character can pop out stones as well. What about the credits? Wanda shows who are those people in the credits when she makes them play. Brother is Mephisto. Yeah, it's a possibility. We did talk about that, Richard. That it's something like Dormammu or an extra dimensional entity that's using the hex that Wanda created here to bleed and cause punch a hole in the multiverse. Adam says, again, like I said, I watched the last few Marvel movies, and there are things to point to different immediate events that lead to WandaVision. And that's true. I mean, like apparently like that scene we saw with her grabbing the Vision's corpse is supposed to be the like an end like a mid-credit scene in another movie. I think an Endgame possibly. Wanda's intent isn't malicious. She's trying to protect Vision and her family. I think in the next episode, we're going to see what actually led to this happening. Because if you look at the thumbnail for this episode, it was from the episode promo they let out for this, which shows her all grieving and everything. And I thought that was going to be this episode, but it looks like it's going to be part of the next episode. So that'll be interesting. So we're finding out in pieces what's going on. But I think the main takeaway from this episode is this is all kind of Wanda's doing. And it's kind of like Madness was saying that it's like, just leave me alone. I have what I want. Go away. Because, we don't, as far as we know, nobody manipulated her. We had theories that it was AIM or Mephisto or any. This is she was grieving, and this is how she chose to end her grief: is trying to create a life with Vision. Does Vision know he's a corpse? He knows something's wrong. We know that's what we got out of this episode. He knows he's not right, and I think we all know that this isn't Vision as we knew him. He's like, Wanda brought him back, but she brought him back like kind of like wrong. She could have killed all those sword agents, but she didn't. She didn't, but I don't. I also don't think she realizes that how much pain the people she's controlling are in. You know, and I think some of them are under a tighter control than others. Like I think Agnes and Herb like are on kind of lesser control than other people. But other people are just like full on like puppets like Norm was, if that makes sense. Cuz yeah, it's difficult. There's a lot of moving parts going on this show right now. But it's very interesting to me to see she's kind of a victim, but she's also kind of victimizing people at the same time, and that's kind of shitty. I mean, I feel bad for the people who trapped in Westview, and that was a good catch by Adam that Westview has the same initials as WandaVision. That had never occurred to me before. Agnes seems to be in her free will and surprising her and leading her on at times. Yeah, my guess is Agnes, because we saw a few times people in the first couple episodes, people breaking out of the control, like when Wu was on the radio and Connie got knocked out of her control for a minute and she cut her hand. I think what happened, at least in the '70s episode, is that Herb and Agnes lost control, or fell out from under her thrall. So I think if you watch the '50s and '60s episode, Agnes is pretty much like, haha. But by this point, I think Agnes and Herb like kind of know what Wanda wants, but aren't completely under her control, and they're kind of trying to find a way out. Yeah, Hayward's a stupid character. I mean, like we were talking earlier. He's gonna try to kill Wanda with a missile from a drone. Like, what the fuck, dude? That wasn't gonna work. You know, like I hate when that's the thing that bugged me. I was like, oh god, he's gonna be that guy, the one idiot who thinks he like can end things. It's like, dude, you're basically it's like you're throwing a rock at a god. You really think you're if she could kill Thanos on her own power, you're gonna try to kill her with a missile from a fucking 30-year-old drone? No, the trailer said it's like, yeah. I mean, like Agnes, tried to get out of her, and then she's like, "Am I dead?" I think she unzaps him, and then she tells him he's dead. But either way, Vision's gonna. I think uh, by the end of next episode, I think Vision and Agnes are both gonna be free of Wanda's control. But I don't think Vision is gonna leave the bubble because I don't think he can. I like that Monica is defending Wanda. Jimmy is a Captain Marvel stan. I stand that. Monica defending Wanda was pretty honorable. Yeah, I think that's kind of. I feel like they're gonna try to bond Monica and Wanda that way. They're kind of like both victims of circumstance. She got blipped. Like Monica got blipped and she lost her mom, and then there's nothing she could do but try to move forward, and then Wanda got blipped and lost the love of her life and just came back to nothing. So there's a definitely a bonding, a way they can bond through that. You know what I mean? So I don't know. I think that, bro. Can we get any spoilers of a certain gory movie that sucks? Um, Maybe in the future. uh, Goro. Uh, there were leaks on Twitter saying this is going to happen. The leaks all going to be possessed by Nightmare. And see, that's the thing. It always goes a bit too far. There's no Nightmare or anything. You just try to keep the as long as you try to keep things on a honorable level. It's like you could guess any if I was watching the show and think, oh, I want to create a fairy tale world. Oh, I bet Quicksilver will show up. I mean, it's a thing you can assume, and then there's pieces there to lock it into place. But when you try to throw in too much, like we don't even know if Mephisto or Nightmare or multi. People were saying Mephisto in the first episode. And there's still nothing to go with that. Well, I would think being brought back to life wrong and living in a TV world would be anybody's nightmare. Maniac says, I think Hayward had to deal with Mephisto when the kids are born. Hayward, nah. The kids are a non-starter right now. I mean, we don't even know what they are yet. I think we're gonna have to wait at least a couple episodes before you make theories on that. In the early trailers, Wanda said, "This is our home," and Vision said, "Let's fight for it." Yeah, I know. So we still need context for that because that's the thing. At some point, I think Vision is going to realize he can only live in this bubble, possibly, and maybe they found a way to destroy it incidentally, and they have to fight to keep it that way. I don't know. That's guessing because we don't know enough yet. There's more plot to come. He also said that Mephisto was the one who offered Wanda what she has. Another thing, she's a Vision was going to walk out of the hex with his original memories gone. I don't think that Vision can walk out of the hex. I think if he walks out of the hex, he's going to die. Um, I think the Mephisto theories all sound a little too one more day to me, and I just can't imagine Marvel introducing Mephisto this way. Because Mephisto looks like a cartoon devil. I mean, even Dormammu was like some kind of just energy thing. Yeah, I think realistically, this is the close. I don't think this show really has a villain. Grief is the villain, you know? She's doing this out of love, you know? I don't think there's a bigger antagonist than Wanda right now. Do you think the last episode will be longer than the rest? I think so. This episode was longer than all of them. This episode was 41 minutes long. Well, the last few episodes have only been like 30 something minutes. Yeah. Well, and also now we know the kids can age themselves, to avoid problems. And I don't even know what the kids are. Are the kids energy? Are they like manifestations of Wanda's power? Like can she like click them off or something? There's like an episode of Batman the Animated Series where Clayface sends a piece of himself as like a little spy, and then Robin falls in love with her, and then Clayface like absorbs it back into him. We don't know what these kids are yet. Do they even have real consciousness, or just serve the plot? Is self-aging part of the reality, or is that part of their powers? I don't know, because I'm not really uh familiar with these kids in the comics. I mean, uh I mean, we're in uncharted things right now. I mean, I know, like, they have kids in the comics at one point, but like, she also created kids in House of M. So I mean, we're dealing with at this point they've kind of given Wanda like godlike powers, so it's almost, who knows what's going on with that, you know. And it could be, here's the thing. This is my one theory that I'll throw out with you, and then you guys can tell me what you think. If you guys remember in Captain America, uh, I think Captain America the Winter Soldier, during the end credits, we find out that Strucker created gave Pietro and Wanda powers by fucking with the mind gem from Loki's staff. What's the thing uh that powers Vision and keeps him alive? It's the mind gem. So here's my question, because Wanda's powers are derived from the mind gem. Does that mean that she, as long, even though they destroy the mind gem in Infinity, in Endgame, is she like just a physical manifestation of the mind gem, and she can keep Vision alive because of that fact? They aren't mutants. There's no mutants in the MCU. Think about that for a second, because that's something I had to think about. It's like, that's right. Pietro and Wanda's powers come from Strucker fucking around with genetics and the mind gem. And the mind gem is what makes Vision. And maybe that's why he was attracted to Wanda in the first place, because like attracts like. So she can she can manifest the mind gem, and maybe she can fix Vision, you know? But that being said, maybe it's wrong. Agnes is wearing the same badge as worn in the first episode. I don't remember that. Tommy was from the comics. It can also double as reference to Fuller House. Oh, okay. Fuller House. She has more Infinity Stone powers than the Mind Gem. Well, what I'm saying is, specifically, they're from the Mind Gem. I mean, she's got all kinds of powers, but I'm just saying Vision's jazz is vibranium and the Mind Gem, and she can clearly fix him. She brought him back to life. Maybe he's wrong, or maybe it's just the grief created this hex bubble where there's a lot of mistrust and everything. So maybe it's, by the end of this thing, maybe we actually will get Vision back at the cost of her powers being nerfed somewhat. And when I say nerf, I mean like a video game, like, is when they bring the power level down because you can't tell relatable stories. That's my working theory right now, from rewatching, these shows. And Strucker has been name checked. He was the watch in the watch commercial in episode 2. The only big mystery we have right now is are those people in the fake commercials her parents? We could get info about Wanda's origin in the next episode. Imagine showing Magneto and Wanda's father's in the next episode. I don't know that we're gonna get Magneto as her father, because they said her father's name was Oleg Maximoff, and that's not Magneto's name in the comics. Maximoff is his last name, but it's not. I think it's like Magnus Maximoff. Somebody can Google that and tell me for sure, but I'm pretty sure it's. Yeah, I'm pretty sure that it's Magnus Maximoff. Oh, that was his name in Eric Lenscher was his name in the X-Men movies. But I'm gonna Google Magneto Maximoff and see what we get, because for a while I know he was going by like Magnus Maximoff or something. Or somebody Google that for me, because like my I got a whole setup going here, and sometimes it's a little slow. All right, I'm googling it for your end. All right, Eric Lenscher, Magnus Maximoff. Yeah. So Magnus Maximoff is Magneto's name in the comics. In this, they said that her father's name is Oleg Maximoff. So it could just be like, maybe he, like, he that's she was raised by an uncle. Who knows? Check this out. Wanda will be the villain of Doctor Strange Multiverse of Madness, and Wanda is House of Madness, meaning Doctor Strange will enter her hex and battle it out. Watch. Um, I wonder if the villain is Master Pandemonium, who in the comics was a TV producer who made a deal with Mephisto and creates illusions just like him. I don't know, because really it seems to me the MCU doesn't really go for like C or D characters, really. I think like I said, I think all of us talking, I think it's just kind of like Wanda and Grief are like, Grief is the thing here. I think did you guys ever watch this episode of Batman Beyond, where there's this little girl who has like telekinetic powers, and she like creates a bubble around the city, and Batman has to go in there to kind of stop her, and they think Batman's going to kill her, and he just kind of ends up talking her down. I kind of think that's sort of what's going to happen in this, that Doctor Strange is going to show up and kind of like talk her down, and maybe like Doctor Strange and Wanda and Vision will end up being main characters in the multiverse movie. I don't know. That's another theory I have. I kind of think that she's gonna end up having to be talked down, because the simulation or the hex is gonna, she's not in control. Like Pietro showing she's kind of losing control of it. If Vision goes out of the hex, will he become alive? I don't know. At first I thought no, but now that I've thought about the fact that Wanda's powers are from the mind gem, I think he might be able to survive outside the hex, but he also might not be. I clearly think that Wanda thinks he won't survive outside of the hex. That's kind of the theory. I know, isn't that crazy? So many questions. That's why I like this show, because it makes you like really think. It's like, huh, interesting. Scenes were leaked. We broke the warrant store. The people are in trouble and they get sucked back in. Yeah. So then that kind of proves what we were talking about. Oh, the mysterious missing person. How are Monica's clothes 87% Kevlar? It could just be like it's her uniform might have been 87% Kevlar and it just reconstituted in a different shape. It's funny, they could have fixed this easily by having unstable molecule fabric in the MCU, but that's not going to happen now, I think. What if New Pietro is a fake? And yeah, the missing person, I think that was just like a herring so we could bring Wu out there. So I don't think we'll ever find out who that person was. Yeah, exactly. So yeah, that's it's kind of crazy. Crazy. It's such a good show, though. Did you guys enjoy the chat? I get more out of watching this with you guys and answering questions than I would by myself. I'd probably be just like, huh. Yeah, I have a lot of fun with it. Yeah, I think the writers are really good. Yeah, so I think what I'm gonna do is I'll probably do like a little recap video with what we've been talking about. Just like our working theories, and like a little 5 minute video and upload that. And then I'll set up another chat for next week, and we can just do it again next time. You guys enjoy that? Yeah, I think it was good. We went like 80 something minutes. That's not too shabby. I'll probably end up rewatching this episode now and be like, oh, I'm taking what you guys were talking, especially when your knowledge of all our comments, most don't respond. Yeah, that's lame when that happens. Well, I mean, like I said, if you guys enjoy, this, just subscribe to the channel and I'll do it again next time. Just like keep talking about what's going on and then just like we'll banter back and forth, you know, because I'll keep doing it as long as you guys keep showing up and, because nobody wants to do it when there's only like two people there and nobody's talking back at you. But when like it's back and forth like we've been doing it, then it's a lot of fun. All right. So yeah, I think I'm gonna wrap it up. You guys can go to bed. I'll go to bed after I make this last video, and then we can all get together next Thursday night and do it again. If you had fun, feel free to subscribe to the channel, and yeah, definitely see you next week. Great chat up, brother. Yeah. Hopefully next time Disney Plus won't be so baffed up that we can all kind of start at the same time and watch it along. Although we think we did a pretty good job this time. All right. So, all right, I'm going to cut it off. Thanks for tuning in. Like I said, subscribe and leave a like on the video, all that fun stuff. And I will talk to you all next week. Thanks for tuning in, guys. Until next time, same Wanda time, same Wanda channel. Peace out.